Hey guys, so today we're going to be trying some new makeup. A lot of stuff I'm really excited for. We're going to be trying a Jouer primer, a Vapor foundation stick, a new Giorgio Armani pressed powder, the brand new Goss bronze and sculpt palettes. I'm so excited. I have all of the shades. They were so kind in sending me all of them. So we're going to play around with probably the medium one, satin bronze, or maybe the light one, light gold. But I do have probably light gold actually. I do have all of them. I'll swatch them for you. I know people are really excited for them. I was super excited for them. So we're definitely going to be playing around with those, focusing on those. And then I do have the Disney and House of Sillage collab. We're going to be playing with the highlight and the blush. We've got the Ofra Samantha March collab. So we're going to be using some of her Life's a Draft eyeshadows up there. I can't wait. Everything looks so beautiful. Some mascara, some lip glosses from Ofra as well. So I'm really excited to jump in. Let's go ahead and start with the Jouer Moisture Primer. So they came out with a couple of new primers. This one's a moisture primer. There's one that's like a mattifying primer. And that one I don't think would suit my very dry skin type. So I decided to pull out the moisture primer. It is silicone free, which is really exciting. It's a hydrating antioxidant treatment. It's fragrance free, it's vegan. There's hyaluronic acid, argan oil, shea butter, vitamin E, ginseng, and ginkgo biloba. Like a lot of stuff that my skin usually really gets on with. So this is 1 fluid ounce. Really nice little squeezy tube there. I'm just going to, you know what, I should shake it up a little bit first, just in case. Just squeeze some out. Just about that much. Oh, it's really light. I like that, especially for a primer. I don't want a primer that's, you know, just gonna sit on my skin and possibly mess up the application of my foundation. I am going to squeeze out a bit more. Feels really nice. It's absorbing right into the skin, which is, again, just great for a primer, for a hydrating primer. Of course, if you want like smoothing or blurring, you kind of want a primer that, I don't know, kind of like sits on top of your skin, but I don't really like that. So this one feels really good to me. Yeah, really nice. Nothing overly sticky left over. My skin just feels really moisturized. Really just feels like a really kind of like light, fresh moisturizer. Oh, that's lovely. All right, so that's the Jouer Anti-Aging Moisture Primer. Next up, we're gonna try the Vapor Luminous Foundation. This is a stick foundation. I'm really excited to give this a whirl. I have it in the shade 115L. This is what the packaging looks like. And here's a swatch of 115L. Almost looks like there's a little bit of luminosity there. Oh, that looks nice. I think that'll work for me. It looks a little bit peachy, but that is okay. So I'm gonna start down here. I do have a shade lighter than this one. So if this doesn't work, maybe we can mix those two. But I'm just gonna swipe down here to check that. Oh, I think that'll work fine. Yeah. Looks good. All right, so I'm gonna swipe on this side. This does not seem like a super high coverage cream foundation, which is great. Those cream foundations with a lot of coverage, those tend to scare me a little bit. They're just a little bit too much. I always feel like I have like a mask on, but this actually seems pretty sheer. All right, I've got my Chantecaille Buff and Blur. Yeah, Buff and Blur brush. It's a flat top brush. And I'm just gonna blend that in. Oh. Blends in really easily. Yeah, the coverage is light, which is great for me. Again, I don't like a really high coverage foundation generally, you know, for the everyday. So actually what I'm gonna try is using the brush and kind of brushing it over the foundation. Sometimes that works well too with stick foundations. And then just applying it from the brush. Oh yeah, that works well too. So I just started playing around with Vapor Beauty. It was when I was doing like Shop With Me at Nordstrom, and Nordstrom just started carrying this brand. I had seen them at other stores before, but it was nice to see them at Nordstrom's, and I've been really impressed with their stuff. They're one of those clean beauty brands, and I do find that they can be hit or miss, and I've had really good luck with Vapor. So this foundation stick is no different. Yeah, blending in really nicely. This is basically just one light layer on my face. I mean, really light coverage. So I'm gonna go in with like another layer all over. See if this is buildable. And so far I'm liking the consistency of this stick foundation. It's you know, it's smooth, it glides on really nicely, but it's not too emollient, you know what I mean? I know we probably have all experienced that stick foundation that just feels a little greasy on the face. This doesn't have that problem, thankfully. All right, there it is, 2 light layers. I still would say that this is like a light coverage stick foundation. I feel like I've never come across a stick foundation that has a light coverage. It's always kind of like a medium buildable coverage. This is really kind of nice. This is like a stick foundation made for Michele, just a really nice light coverage. So this is the side with no foundation, and this side I have 2 light layers on. So you can see my skin looks like a little bit more perfected. It's not quite as blotchy as you see over here. It's a little bit more smoothed out. Very, very nice. Let me go ahead and apply to the rest of my face here. And this shade is definitely a good one. What is this again? 115L for shade reference. All right, so there it is, applied all over my face. I really like this light coverage. I feel like it's like evened me out a little bit, not too much. I think this is great for like the coming warmer months because it just feels really low maintenance. Ooh, and I really like the finish. A little luminosity, but not like a shiny kind of greasy look. Oh, lovely. It's not emphasizing lines, it's not caking up. It's looking really, really good. So nice. All right, so that is the Vapor, what is the full proper name? Luminous foundation. Well, I would definitely agree with the word luminous. Really beautiful finish. So I'm just taking a quick look at the ingredients. So sunflower seed oil, beeswax, castor seed oil, beeswax. I don't see any coconut oil. That tends to be what people are most concerned about when it comes to clean beauty and something that, you know, is kind of emollient. No coconut oil. So that is the Luminous Foundation from Vapor. Very, very lovely. Okay, moving on to powder. I do have the new Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Glow Fusion Powder. I do have it in the shade number 4. So that is the box packaging. Here is the compact. Really, really beautiful. I love this like nude top that it has. And then here is the powder. I'm not sure if this powder is going to work for me. It actually looks a little deep. It almost looks like a powder foundation, and you're not going to see that, but I just swatched it right here. There is a satin sheen to it, which I think I would really like, but there's a little bit more pigmentation that I typically like for a setting powder, but we're going to give it a shot. Let's see what happens. Usually I'd go in with like a light fluffy kind of powder brush, but I want to be able to work this powder in because it does seem, like I said, it seems to have a bit of pigment in there, a little bit of a, I guess a thickness you could call it. So I want to be able to kind of like work it in. So I'm going to grab my Sonia G Smooth Buffer brush, and I'm just going to go right into the powder, and I'm just going to stamp it on first. And I am going to apply it to just this half of my face because I do want to see if it changes like the tone of my foundation. No fragrance. So number 4 has definitely deepened up my complexion a little bit. I don't actually mind it because I am pretty pale, pretty pale right now. But just so you know, this powder does definitely have some coverage to it. And I bet this could probably be used as a powder foundation. I thought maybe it was a powder foundation, but it wasn't described that way. So anyway, that's one light layer of the powder down. I'm actually going to pick up just a little bit more on my smooth buffer, and I'm going to buff it in. And the reason why I picked up a little bit more powder is because I don't want it to, I want it to be able to glide over the powder easily. I don't want it to move the foundation underneath. But yeah, this is the side with powder, the side without. I am much tanner on this side for sure. Let me take a look at the finish. I really like the finish of this. When I looked at it in the pan, I don't know if you guys will be able to see, I wasn't quite sure if I could see micro glitters in there. I thought maybe I could. And I did not have great experience with like an Armani loose powder that was just micro glitter. I really didn't like it. So I was afraid that they did that with this pressed powder, but they didn't. It just has this gorgeous, gorgeous, like luminous sheen to it. It's actually a great pairing for this foundation stick. Really pretty. I really like the finish. Maybe I'll keep this and just get a lighter shade because I kind of like this bronziness to my skin. Okay, let me go ahead and apply to the rest of my face here. Get myself all bronzed up. Wow, I actually look really, really healthy. Okay, all right. Ooh, the luminous glow is for real though. Wow. Wow. That's nice. Okay. So that is the Luminous Silk Glow Fusion Powder in shade number 4. If you are similar to me and you want something that actually matches your skin tone, 4 is way too deep. Just FYI. All right, let's move on to, oh wow. Let's move on to the Wayne Goss Radiance Boosting Face Palette. So these are the Bronze and Sculpt palettes. And why don't I go ahead and show you some close-ups of each one and some swatches first. So the first one, or the lightest one, is light gold. And here is a close-up of the palette. So these palettes have a bronzing powder and a sculpting powder. They're not like a bronzing and a highlight. It's like a contour and a bronze. Next we have Satin Bronze. And so this is the mid-tone palette shade. I think this is the one I'm gonna use since I'm not sure that the light one will show up now that I put that Armani all over. So that's Satin Bronze. And this one is Deep Copper. And this one is just too deep for my skin tone. But I love the tones of all of these powders because there's a little bit of warmth in the bronzing powders, but it's not like warmth by just adding some orange. There's a lot of like red underneath, which I think just looks so much more natural no matter like what your skin tone is. I just feel like that gives you more of like a sun-kissed look versus like an orangey, like yellow-based kind of warmth. All right, so I'm gonna go in with Satin Bronze. Again, this is the mid-tone one. And I think this is the one that's gonna work since I look so tan after putting on Armani powder. But normally I think light gold would work, but I think it's a little bit too light with this. All right, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of the contour. I'm not gonna go, too crazy. I've got my Beautylish Yano Series brush number 2, and the contour shade is this one over here. The bronze shade has like a little bit of a satin, like a very subtle satin sheen to it. Just gorgeous, but the contour shades are matte. So I'm gonna go in with the contour first and just going to add it just underneath my cheekbones here. So there's the contour. Look at that beautiful tone. It is the perfect contour tone. I feel like it's a great kind of in real life kind of contour. There are some amazing contour powders out there, like the Kevyn Aucoin. It's so cool tone though, that I feel like it looks great in like pictures, it looks great on camera, but in real life, it looks very, very stark. Like it almost looks a little bit too gray. So I find that this is like a more modern kind of contour. It's just more wearable. And in real life, it doesn't look quite as like, dirty. So I just love the tone of these contour powders. The powders themselves are great. They blend in really, really beautifully. So that's the contour there. Nothing on this side. Let me go ahead and apply to this side. And when I apply contour, I usually just like to look straight ahead and just kind of apply it where I have some normal contours to my face and just sort of emphasize those. And of course, you can use this as like a wonderful transition shade for your eyes. And I feel like even using both of these, you can just get like a really nice kind of like bronzy monochromatic like look, which I think is beautiful for the summertime if you're going for like a Saint-Tropez kind of look. If you want to put on like a nude glossy lip and like bronzer on your eyes, it looks so pretty. So that is the contour powder. I'm gonna go ahead and just lightly dust the bronzing powder all over. So I've got a big fluffy brush here. This is my Refer number 6 brush. I'm gonna go into the bronzing powder, which is this one. And I'm gonna apply this where the sun would hit my face. So just the high points, basically where you would highlight as well. Just adding a little color there. And wow, I'm starting to look really summery. I kind of like it. All right, so those are the Goss Radiance Boosting Face Palettes, and I have Satin Bronze on my face, which is the medium toned one. These are really, really beautiful. The way they perform and the tone, it's the tones of the powders that I really, really enjoy. All right, next for blush and highlight, I've got the House of Sillage Disney collaboration. So this is the Complexion Duo, and the highlighter is called Joyful, and the blush is called Pink Bow. So I'm gonna go in with Pink Bow, and I'm gonna use the Beautylish Yano series brush number 5. This is the one, it's just like a highlight brush, but I'm gonna use it for the blush and the highlight. So again, I'm gonna go into the blush first, and just apply that to my cheeks. Oh, it's a lot brighter on my cheeks than I feel like it looks in the pan. In the pan, it has like a dusty kind of mauvey quality to it. But once I get it on my cheeks, I feel like it's more of a bright pink. Oh, how lovely. How lovely. That is really, really nice. Not that I don't like how it appears here, but I thought, oh, okay, this is going to be kind of like a cool tone blush. Not at all. Do you see what I mean? I don't know if you can even tell, but it looks cooler and dustier in the pan than it does on my cheek. On my cheek, it looks pretty warm. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, pleasantly surprised by this blush. So pretty. All right, and applied beautifully. These are like pressed powders, so picked up beautifully on the brush, blended out really, really nicely. Okay, I'm loving that. Let me just wipe off this brush, and then I will go into the highlight. And the highlight is really pretty too. It has like kind of a pinky peach base, but there's a pretty strong gold kind of sheen to it. So let's see what this looks like on the cheeks. Yeah, this definitely looks a little bit more truer to what it looks like in the pan. I see that kind of champagne golden sheen to it. And then I do see like that pink kind of base. Very pretty. Goes really nicely with the blush. Really nice duo. So there are quite a few other pieces to this Disney House of Sillage collab. So there's this complexion duo. There's also like an eyeshadow quint. There's a couple of lipsticks with some new refillable lipstick cases and lip gloss. And I did want to do a dedicated video to it, but I just really kind of ran out of time, and I have other stuff that I want to use in this video. But I did want to mention those products to you in case you are a big Disney fan, a big House of Sillage fan. These are really so much fun. Let's move on to eyebrows. I don't have any new eyebrow products. So I'm gonna go in with one of my favorites, the Merit Brow Pomade. I've really been enjoying this. I have it in the shade Brown. Eyebrows are done. Let's move on to eyeshadow. So excited to try Samantha March's new collab with Ofra. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to hold this up. So here is the face palette. So we have 8 eyeshadows, and then we have a blush, highlight, and bronze. So let me show you some swatches. I'm basically gonna swatch across the top, across the bottom row, and then the blush, highlight, and bronze. So each one does have a name. The first one is 09. Ram, Honors, Peace, Maya, Cherry, 23, Ink, and then the blush is called 6, the highlight is Dream Chaser, and the bronze is Key. And this highlight, Dream Chaser, is an all-new highlighter. It is a pink champagne neutral. It's beautiful. I have to definitely use this in another video. Anyway, let's jump into these eyeshadows. So I'm going to lay down this first color, 09. I'm gonna lay this down first. And I'm gonna stick to like the more neutral shades in here. So I'll probably use these two, maybe this one and this one. So I'm gonna go with my Chikuhodo Z5 brush. This is the flat shader, and go into 09, which is a matte, and dust this all over. Such a pretty mauve shade. Oh, I love it. And this is a matte shade. I feel like I'm seeing some satin sheen to it. I think it's actually from that Armani Luminous Silk Glow Fusion Powder. I feel like they're kind of mixing together and it's turning this matte shade into something kind of satiny. If that's going to bug you, I would definitely avoid using this powder on your eyelids. So there's the first shade laid down all over. I wasn't really that careful. I just kind of placed it all over my lids. All right, I'm going to take my Sonia G Blender Pro brush and go into this shade up here, which is called Peace, and apply this to the outer corners. Ooh, you know what I really like about these shades so far, at least the two that I've used? They're not like, the shade isn't like warming up in tone. On my skin, I feel like sometimes when I see cool shades in the pan, once I get them on my lids, they don't look so cool. They look a little bit more neutral, a little bit more warm, but these are staying really, really cool. All right, those two shades are down. I'm just gonna take my original Z5 brush and go into this shimmery shade down here, which is called Maya. And I'm just gonna lay this down in the inner corner here, inner portion of my lid. I love the mauvey tones, really, really pretty. And this palette is gorgeous, gorgeous. Congratulations again to Samantha March for this collab. It's really, really beautiful. All right, I'm just gonna use my Wayne Goss eyeliner and then I will be back to play with a new mascara. Okay, eyeliner's on. I curled my eyelashes and I want to try this mascara that was sent to me by a subscriber. Thank you so much. But this is a mascara from Japan and it's from the brand Flo Fushi. And I'm going to give it a shot. Apparently this is a clear mascara that's going to give my lashes like a glossy coat. I'm really excited. So just going to open this package up. Here's the tube. It's like this copper rose gold color. Oh, and it's like slightly contoured. Oh, how pretty. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, how interesting. I mean, it's clear, but do you see this on the barrel? There's like a little bit of pigment to it. Oh no, this is tinted. Oh, I'm so curious now. How nice. I think you can definitely see a difference between these lashes with the mascara on and this without. My lashes definitely look longer, more defined, actually a lot longer. Can you guys see that? They look a lot longer. And you know what else? This is a much more subtle mascara, which I think is hard to find. Usually mascaras, even if they're not volumizing, even if they're just separating and lengthening, they're pretty bold. It's this goopy black brown business that you're putting all over your eyelashes. This is definitely like a much lighter touch. And this is a really nice alternative to like more bold or typical mascaras. This is like nice and subtle. This is a mascara that's definitely much more my style, you know? My makeup style. Wow, if you want to lengthen your lashes, this is the one. I don't think I've ever gotten so much length out of a mascara. Really cool. Really, really cool. I like the way my lashes look. Thank you so much for this mascara. This is really cool. Really, really cool. Last but not least, let's do some lips. Oh, I've got Samantha's collab with Ofer here. 3 new lip glosses. So let's just lip swatch them all. I'm gonna start with the one that looks like milky white, and this is called Millie. So there is Millie. Definitely cooled down my lips. I feel like there's even maybe a little bit of a light, kind of bluish purple tinge. Very, very light. Ooh, that's pretty though. And there's micro glitters in there, which you can't feel. Doesn't feel gritty or anything like that. Pretty. Okay, so that is Millie. Next up we have Peony, which is a really pretty pink. And same deal. Looks like there's some little glitters in here. Barely a scent, but I think it's like a birthday cake scent, but really, really faint. So here is Peony. Really, really pretty, kind of like a Your Lips But Better kind of gloss. And then last but not least, we have Queen, which is the best name ever. And this is more of like a peachy bronzy shade. So there is Queen on the lips. Yep, just like warmed up my lip tone just a little bit. Ooh, I'm glad I ended on this one. I think it looks really good with my very bronzy skin. Well, that is it for this trying new makeup video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm definitely going to be exchanging or getting, actually I think I'm just going to get a lighter shade in the Armani powder. I do kind of like how bronzy my skin looks. The Jouer Moisture Primer, really lovely, felt really, really nice on the skin. The Vapor Foundation Stick, gorgeous. If you're into a light coverage and you want like a little bit of like luminosity to your base, this is wonderful. And again, my shade is 115L, which was a good match for me. Oh my God, the Wang Goss palettes, gorgeous, stunning. If you guys have been looking for like a nice contour, which I know is just, it's so tricky. I think contour is so tricky. I've always erred on the side of cooler powders, which again works, you know, in front of a camera. It works on video, it works in cameras if you're doing something like a little bit more dramatic. But in real life, I always feel like they look just a little too stark. And Wang Goss has come out with a solution. They're just gorgeous. So anyway, love those. Samantha March's collab, the glosses, the palette is just so beautiful. Again, another big congratulations to her. And that's it. Oh, of course, the House of Sillage Disney. This was a really nice surprise. Not that I don't like this color in the pan, but it's a little bit brighter on the cheeks, which was just lovely. So wow, another very successful trying new makeup. I am very pleased, very pleased. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Let me know if you have any questions. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.